Well, hello there, FireTeam K9 tribe. Coach Carl and my trusted companion Piper here. Today we're working on a number of different things. Right now we're just working on loose-leash walking, having Piper engage with me while I'm walking in different directions. So the idea here is, like many other videos that I've done before, is that she is to respond to my direction changes and my pace changes. So as you see, as I'm moving left to right, forward, backwards, turning left, turning right, Piper's job is primarily to stay close to me on the loose leash and then not leak or not move too far outside of that pocket on my hip. This is not a focused heel drill. It's just basically having her walk nicely with me on the leash. I do this a lot, either before, during, or after going on a walk or a training session. A lot of people will call this pack drive as well. The idea, again, is for Piper to connect with me, for me to connect with Piper, so that we're working together rather than me sort of telling Piper what to do, or me pulling on the leash or luring her too much. For the most part in this drill, I'm not luring her with food. We can do that in the early stages of these drills, so that you can have your dog understanding that reward comes from hanging out in that hip pocket area. I call it the hip pocket. Basically, it's like walking nicely beside me with a loose leash. So yes, you can lure and eventually over time fade the lure by luring less, and then just putting your hand, grabbing a piece of food, rewarding the dog, then eventually grabbing another piece of food over time. Notice that I'm doing left hand turns, right hand turns. So in other words, inward and outward turns with the dog. I'm walking forward and stopping in this case here. So the expectation is that when I stop, Piper stops with me. And I do this so that if we're in a place like a hardware store or out on a walk and that type of thing, if I stop at a sidewalk, the expectation is that she's going to stop and sit beside me. So in this exercise, or in this training session, it's about 9 minutes, I believe. For the first few minutes, all we did was pack drive. Okay, just simply walking around, working together so that Piper understands that her job is to just stay connected with me. Okay, and you'll see skills like that one we just did right there, where I did an inward turn and she had to move her hind legs around. So there's some awareness in terms of her positioning in there too as well. So now I just took the leash off, and we're going to repeat the same drills. Okay. Again, I'm not trying to do a focused heel. All I want is Piper to be hanging out with me. And you'll notice, her tail is wagging. She's looking at me. Her body position and energy is positive. Okay, I'm not forcing her to do this. This is something that we've worked with quite often, and she knows the drill. She knows she's going to get reinforced and rewarded with food here. So obviously it's something that she wants to do. And this is in a fairly low distraction environment. There's not a lot of there I am running. Okay, change of pace here. There's not a lot of people or other dogs here. Every once in a while there's rabbits. So we have to just make sure that we're paying attention to each other here and understanding the environment. But the more we do this now with the off-leash, the more reliable she will be on-leash and off-leash. So we practice both, right? We practice them in areas where we can do this. Notice that I did a turn where she had to come around me. Okay, then we cut into a sit position. I moved. She moved back into me. We're doing a little bit of source focus here. Into a center or middle position. So now we're starting to work on positions. So where she's having to respond a little differently to cues and commands. And as soon as she gets into that position, I either reward right away, or I pause for a moment, hold the position, and then reward, just like that one right there. And then we finish that repetition and come back into it, repeat the process. Okay, she's back into the middle position. We hold, reward, repetition's done, then we regain connection and go through the process again. We can do this with toys as well, but in this case we're just using food, and I'm using, in this session I was using freeze-dried liver, which is a fairly high value for her, so she's more than likely to stay connected with me. Okay, down into the heel position, and a little bit of source focus, which she was a little bit out of it there. Now she reconnects, looking at the source of the reward, and then doing a dynamic exit into her reward. So difference between static and dynamic reward. A static reward would be we hold in that position, she gets rewarded, or a dynamic reward, just like that one. We do some sort of spin out of the position or move out of the position to get the reward. Okay, down in motion, and then a down, holding the down with me moving around, and then recalling into another position. Okay, so this session here was designed for positions, recall, responding to my requests or cues or commands, whatever you would like to call it, and then just sort of having a little bit of fun. Not a ton of structure in terms of the very specific things that we're working on, but just having a little bit of fun here. She's getting rewarded lots with the food, and we've got lots of movement, lots of interaction together. You can do this stuff in your house where there's no distractions initially, and then like I would say, doing a lot of this stuff on leash or on a short leash, so that even if your dog wants to take off, then you can just keep them close to you, and use luring, of course, initially. If your dog is super ball motivated, then you can use the ball as well. You can take that ball and you can hold it, and the dog follows you around, and then all of a sudden just do a dynamic reward event where you just toss the ball, just like I did there with the food. That was pretty good timing. So, beautiful day for us to do some training. I think after this we did a little bit of frisbee work too. It's not in the video, but okay, a little focus heel with a dynamic reward exit, back to a front into a heel position into the middle with a dynamic reward event again. Super fun stuff to do. I really enjoy doing this stuff. It's like it builds your people say the buzzwords, hey, the connection and the bond and your engagement with your dog, but it truly does. It truly does, because you find a way to work together as a team, to work on skills. You have lots of opportunities to put in lots of repetitions. And then, here we're challenging sort of Piper's ability to do more than one position or hold a position or respond to multiple cues before she gets rewarded. So you see how over the time of this session, I was doing a lot of rewarding early on, or a lot of luring, and then I stretched it out to less rewarding, and to the point now where she's able to do a lot of things between rewards. And I think we're all done here, and finishing it up with a little bit of playtime. And having a little bit of fun together. No rules, just a little bit of playtime. Make sure you have fun with your dogs, guys. That's extremely important as well. Until next time, happy training. Bye for now.